Welcome to another edition of the Lifestyle Design Confessions podcast. We're here to help inspire you to go for it and live the lifestyle design of your dreams. Here's Rob.
Today we have Cheryl. I'm sure I am going to butcher this, but Cheryl Antier, and she's going to correct me in the moment, on the line. Cheryl is someone who has taken the concept of lifestyle design, grabbed it, squeezed it, took everything she could out of it, all the way to Saint-Tropez. And I am so glad that she is willing to do this interview with us. Cheryl, are you there?
I'm here.
First of all, I just want to say I think you are awesome. I mean, what you have done is absolutely incredible in terms of lifestyle design, and I want to just kind of get right into it. So just by way of background, could you give me just a little bit of what the last 4 or 5 years looks like in terms of where you've traveled and how you wound up all the way to where you are now, which is living on the French Riviera in Saint-Tropez?
Let's see. We just got back in April from a little quick trip to Washington, D.C. We wanted to see the Cherry Blossom Festival, and then also New York and Philadelphia. So that was April. The last few years, I've been to Italy a couple of times, Monaco, Luxembourg, Austria, Germany a couple of times. Greece, we did the mainland of Greece. We haven't done the Greek islands, but that's on the plans. Oh, I know I'm forgetting some, but I love England, Ireland. I really love to travel. Spain, we went to Spain. So it's a fabulous way to live, to be able to do this.
So you have figured out a way to do something, and this is the reason why I wanted to have you on the line. You have figured out a way to not say, I am going to live the deferred life plan. I'm going to wait until I'm 65, 70 years old, need a walker, wheelchair, or whatever kind of condition you're in, in the last stages of your life, and sit on a cruise and look out the window at Luxembourg. You said, no, I'm going to do it now while I'm young. I'm going to find a way to pay for it. And I am going to live this life in a big way. Did I get that right?
Exactly. Life is short, and every minute that we have, this minute right now where we're talking, it's unique. Whether you believe in, reincarnation, or you believe that when you died, you go to heaven and sprout wings and play a harp all day, or you think you die and you become fertilizer, whatever you believe, this moment right now, this is it. This moment, it's the only one you get. So I really don't understand people who don't want to squeeze every single bit of life out of life that they can, because you just don't know what's going to happen.
I would suspect that in the beginning, before you made the plunge to actually relocate, I would bet you had some apprehensions, maybe some fears. Let's talk a little bit about that, because it is very brave, in my opinion, what you decided to do. You are in the top 1% of people who say, I'm going to do this. Let's talk about it from the beginning. What were some anxieties you had? What were some fears?
Well, one thing that was kind of a huge trigger is that I lost my husband. He had a massive stroke. He was 50. It was 3 days after his 50th birthday. And I had 2 boys and a house payment and the mortgage and, all the things, not to mention, of course, all the expenses because he'd been sick for a long time. So I had all of that facing me. And there was one day that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. Really quickly, my water heater broke, flooded the basement. My kids were thrilled for about 10 minutes because they thought I'd put an indoor swimming pool in the basement, and they were excited to invite their friends over. The flooded basement also broke my washing machine, which we didn't find out until we were trying to wash all of the towels and things we were using.
Cheryl, just to give me a frame of reference, this is how many years ago, and where were you living?
I was living in southeastern Utah.
Okay.
And this was in 2002.
Okay, got it.
And and on the way to the plumbing store, which was 30 miles away, we had a flat tire. and I had never had to change a flat tire in my life. Didn't know how to do it, and nobody drove by, nobody stopped to help. And that was kind of when I decided, you know what? This is not how I want to spend my life. This is not what I want for my boys. And I just couldn't do it anymore. Mm-hmm. And I've wanted to live in France since I was 14. And so I started looking for ways that I could come to France.
And your kids were how old?
Let's see. They were 12 and 14.
Okay, so that was 6 years ago. So that was the trigger. And then you created, because you knew where you were going to wind up, which was France. Right. So you had to set up a plan to allow that to happen.
Right.
All right, so let's talk about that. What did that look like?
That was pretty much a disaster. I spent a year on the internet trying to have an internet business. I spent thousands of dollars, but I sure didn't make anything. Mm-hmm. And then by sort of accident, I got a job doing some writing, some ghostwriting. Mm-hmm. And that one actually happened to be some special reports, and it happened to be for an internet marketer. And after doing these 12 reports, the one thing that I did learn from actually I learned two things. One was that it was possible to make money. I just needed to learn exactly how to start creating more than just one income stream, because one income stream wasn't going to do it. And the other thing I learned is that I don't care how much money somebody pays me, I will never, ever, ever write about golf again.
Why?
It is the most boring subject that I've ever done.
It's so funny. Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, I started doing several different things. One of them was writing grants, and I got involved doing some mentoring with a local vocational rehab organization, and they were sending me clients so that I could help small business owners get grant money. And I'd probably written my third one when I realized, well, hello, let's write one for me. Mm-hmm. So I did, and that was what gave me the money to be able to come over here.
Which was how long ago?
That would have been, that would have been 2003, and the kids and I moved over here in 2004.
Okay, that was my next question. Did you bring the kids? Okay, so you brought the kids with you.
Yep.
Okay, so now they are a few years older. How old are they now?
21. My oldest just turned 21, and my youngest is 18.
Okay, and what did they think about moving to France? Were they all on board, or did you have some anxiety there?
Oh, there was total anxiety.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that our dog, my oldest son's dog, she was a very, very popular girl, 9 puppies. And the sad thing was, when we left, we couldn't bring her and 9 puppies to France. And so that was, it sounds like a small thing, but that was a huge issue for my son.
It's not a small thing if you have a dog. You understand that.
Yes. And so for him, that was probably the hardest thing, more even than leaving our family, more than leaving his friends. So, I mean, it's when you do this kind of thing, it's not without issues. I mean, plus moving to France, we had one little problem that none of us spoke French. And
minor detail.
Yeah, minor thing. Now, after about 6 months in school, my oldest son became, he's fabulous. He speaks better French than I do, and he's completely bilingual. I can get along. I can talk to the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker, and I can do polite dinner conversation, but I still struggle and have to take my dictionary along if I need to do something like bureaucracy-wise.
Right. You're not reading War and Peace in French yet.
Not so far, no.
Yeah, got it. Okay, so now the kids are they in university now, or are they out of school, or?
My youngest son is doing internet high school, and my oldest son will finish his degree next year. And he's doing travel and tourism, which is a big plus for him because he's bilingual.
Right.
And so, yeah, they've adjusted. They like it. We love the lifestyle over here.
All right, so let's kind of get into that a little bit. Because I just got back from Saint-Tropez. I was at a place you may know because you lived there called the Cube Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that was fabulous.
Yeah, we were there for a couple of weeks. I really got Saint-Tropez at a very deep level. There is... It's so hard to explain. You'll get this, but people who are listening who haven't been there, it's really difficult to understand.